episode 3.
Yay.
Let's get it.
I feel like we're getting better and better.
I know. We're more comfortable.
For
Definitely.
Sure.
I feel like we're forever going to talk about the first episode.
Yeah.
Because I kind of hate it.
I know. I didn't like it from the beginning, but I'm like, maybe it's my perfectionism kicking in.
Yeah.
But I like it. Actually, you know what happened to me? I feel like I didn't like it when I first saw it, and then it grew on me, and I feel like you had the opposite effect.
Yeah. I was like, Yas, I'm just happy we have a video recorded.
I do too.
Because this is 4 years in the making of us saying we're going to film a podcast episode.
And today we matched, you guys.
I know. We walk in the room and we both have ponytail with bangs.
Same thing.
With the bangs.
We
the
did
middle
not
part,
plan this.
Yeah, with the middle part curtain bang.
Yeah.
But we look cute.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're kind of both on a sporty vibe.
I know. I don't know what happened.
It's sister telepathy.
Right. That happens a lot with people that I feel like are together a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same vibe. You know, Yas killed me because she sent me a meme the other day. I think I've seen it before, but it's just so funny because it's like both of us on there. So Yasmin sent me this meme, you guys, and let me read it to you. Let me pull it up.
Stand up if you're any of these things.
Right. Let us know if you guys are on this list. So this list says, dating them is not for the weak. Are you ready? Number 1, December Sagittarius.
Naz right here.
Honorable mention, December 7th. Jamaican.
Okay.
Men from Brooklyn. Next one, July Cancer.
Me.
July 21st in the flesh. Taurus women.
Taurus women.
You know what? That's funny that's on here because 2 girls that I know who are Tauruses who are in relationships are really good girlfriends. Like I would date them.
But you think they're for the weak though? It's not like we're not bad. We're just not for the weak.
Yeah, because we don't put up with BS.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, you know what? They do deserve to be on this list. Okay. Next one. This is the kicker here. Women from Ohio.
Yep.
Columbus.
Stand up. 614.
From the 614. September Virgo. This one I agree with.
Do I know a September Virgo?
Virgos are just not for the week in general. You got to be on your A game with Virgo. Men from the Bronx. They might as well have just put New York men on here. November Scorpio, Mel. April Aries. Shout out to Danny.
April Aries. Yeah,
Danny's an April Aries.
I love April Aries.
I do like a good April Aries. Dominican women.
I can see that.
August Leo.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No, I had a good experience with August Leo. Just one good experience.
Really? Then what happened?
You know who I'm talking about. It didn't work out. But any other Leo, actually, for some reason, I attract a lot of Leo men, and it's not for the weak, I will say.
Isn't that your Venus? Isn't your Venus in Leo?
I have a Leo Venus.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah.
So we mentioned in our previous episode that we've changed a lot the past few years, you know, with life experiences and
leveling up in general.
Yeah, we really did level up a lot. And that's something that a lot of people ask us about and they want to hear more about. And I'm like the first person to say life is a journey. Actually, one of my favorite quotes ever is people who enjoy walking will get to the destination a lot quicker than people who are just in it to get to the destination. You'll go farther.
I believe in that. And I always say this to me, fall in love with the journey and, you know, the results will come. I feel that when you fixate on the results, you usually get disappointed quickly and you give up faster.
I'm
you know
like
what
that
I mean?
for sure.
Yeah. So that's actually really funny that we thought like the same thing, but a different font, because I used to be a results type of girl. Like I wanted a certain result. And that was a lot with my weight loss too. Like I wanted a certain number and I wanted to look a certain way. But when I let go of that completely and fell in love with just being a healthier, happier version of myself and just focusing on my gut health, everything like it just flew like naturally, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it's really crazy to see as your younger sister. I like watched you go through a weight loss journey and like yo-yo for years. I remember that was like something that you wanted to overcome so bad.
Yeah.
And I remember that was always like an issue for you? And
I feel like for a while, I never necessarily had a problem with my weight. I don't want to talk too much about like weight loss or anything in this video, but I never had a problem with my weight per se. When I was younger, I obviously wanted to be like a skinny mini because of just, I don't know, like you know how it is when you're younger.
I mean, the time you grew up too.
Yeah, it was the
that
time.
was not for the weak.
It was
honestly.
the time. Yeah. It was like the Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan era.
Yeah, that's
you
one thing
know?
I'm very thankful to grow up in this generation where honestly it's like everybody's kind of
Everybody's
celebrated now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see some of the old like magazine covers like back in the early 2000s. Evil.
Yeah.
So horrible.
Yeah.
Like
That was just what was in, I felt like. But I feel like I always had, it wasn't necessarily a weight thing, like my stomach always hurt. Remember?
I remember, yeah.
My stomach would always hurt and I would always be a balloon after I eat. And once Naz was like, Yas, I feel like I could just pop you, because it wasn't even like weight. It was just like I was always gassy and inflamed. Inflamed, is that a word?
Inflamed?
I had a lot of inflammation.
Yeah.
So
y'all, this isn't English class. Y'all know what we're trying to say.
Yeah. So when I took health into, because I thought I was healthy, but you guys, I have a whole video on my YouTube channel up about my weight loss journey and how I pretty much healed my gut. I think my gut was the problem.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And once I got that situated, everything went smoothly and just the weight came off. More weight than I even wanted came off. Like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm losing. Like I never even fathomed that I would lose so much. But yeah, coming back to what we first said, I feel like the reason I was able to be successful is because I fell in love with the journey. I fell in love with learning about food, what was healthy for me, all of the things that we're taught that are healthy or not healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of terrible ingredients in foods, especially in the US. So just learning about that, like I fell in love with the journey, and I feel like that's how I got results. And it clicked in my head, if I, went about other goals in the same way where I just loved the process, the results will eventually come.
Yeah, I totally agree. And especially in this generation, we're so used to instant gratification.
Yes.
And it's really hard. It's almost like a high. Like you get that feeling that, what is it, a dopamine hit of like achieving something right away, that when you try something new and it's taking you a little longer, it can be very frustrating. I don't know if you remember I was like trying to start a brand back in 2020 and it just like was not working out. And I was blaming COVID, and I just think the team behind it, like we just weren't aligning. And now looking back on it, I'm like, thank goodness I didn't move forward.
Yeah.
I also realized it wasn't my true passion, the direction I was going in with the brand. And I'm just so happy I didn't waste my time, my resources on it. And that's not something you're going to realize right away. It took literally like 4 years, 3 years for me to be like, I was not mentally ready to be a CEO. I was not mentally ready to run a company. I just didn't have the tools in my toolbox yet.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy that I didn't try to force it, because I can be like that. I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter at heart. So I will try to force things. And you're always the person who's like, Naz, like take a step back. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. And I'm like, no, I'm not trying hard enough.
Yeah.
Which, sometimes I think life isn't so black and white. There is some times where one is true and the other isn't.
Yeah.
But overall, 9 times out of 10 in my 25 years of life, I've been happy looking back on things not working out. I'm like, I dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like if something is meant to be, this is what I always say. When you want something and it's meant for you, maybe it's a not right now. It's never a no. It's never a no. If that's meant for you, it will come back in, whenever. But when you truly want something and you're in alignment with it, it might not happen right away, but you will eventually get it. So.
Yeah, I love the word alignment. I think alignment is the core of everything that you want to do.
Yeah.
And when you're supposed to be in the space you're supposed to be in, I do think it flows a little naturally.
Yeah.
But then again, I also think that you need to show the universe that you want something.
Yeah.
We can't just sit there and be like, oh, I want a podcast really bad. And then we made no moves. Don't get me wrong. I totally believe in manifestation. It's very important to put what you want out in the universe. But I just think some people just take it and kind of run with it a little
too much.
Too much.
Here's what I think. I feel that the universe, God, whatever higher power you believe in, I feel that God helps people that help themselves. Like the universe will help you. You just have to make steps towards it, you know?
Right. Like you can't just say, I want
Yeah.
$1 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then get angry and be like, oh, this manifestation
Yeah.
stuff doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's, you have to
Take
take
actionable
action.
steps.
What really helped me, again, being somebody who wants that instant gratification, I think what really helped me is instead of looking at like the big goal, the big end picture, setting small goals,
Yes.
like just makes your goal seem so much more achievable.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, I want to, I don't know, I want to save $10,000 this year.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about that number, $10,000, that seems
Like a
really
lot.
out of touch. It seems really far away.
And I feel that since it's so far away, you keep putting it off.
Yeah,
Does that make sense
same.
sometimes?
I feel like I
You're
do
like,
that.
oh my God, until I get there, like, it's fine. I'll start tomorrow. I feel
It's
like
very
that's how you
discouraging.
start tomorrow.
Or
but
even
like, start
with
right
weight
now.
loss. Or even like you said, weight loss earlier.
Yeah.
If you think I want to lose 50 pounds seems
So
so
much.
daunting. Like
Right.
50 pounds. But instead, if you break it up, if I lose 5 pounds
Mm-hmm.
for 10 months,
Yeah.
5 pounds suddenly seems a lot more achievable.
Yeah. Making small goals.
Yeah.
I feel like also really helps.
Small personal goals for me is really how I get to the next step. It's really
Yeah.
helped elevate my life a ton. And I also learned that I've just been studying a lot more, knowing that I want to own a business one day. I've been studying them a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned like true business owners, like we're thinking a few weeks in advance, like they're literally thinking, they're
I
thinking,
know.
they're already in
Bigger
Q4.
picture.
We're in
Yeah.
Q2. They're already in Q4 of next year.
Yeah.
So when you don't plan, that's so important to plan. I know
Planning
not
really
everybody's,
helps.
yeah, I know not everybody's type A. I get it. But to me, like if you have goals to achieve, there has to be some sort of game plan.
I have to go to bed knowing what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Right.
I can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and figure it out. Like
I used to be
before
like that.
this is how I got through college. This is how I got through life. Like I knew what I was gonna do tomorrow morning. Like I would make a checklist of this is stuff I need to get done. And also I feel like what helps elevate your life is don't set yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Don't set yourself up to be burnt out. I feel like people, make a list of 25 things they want to achieve tomorrow
At me.
and then you get burnt out, So I feel like how I do it is I put them in the level of importance. So I'm like, these 5 things I have to get done tomorrow. But these other next 3 things, if I do it, if I get too tired and I can't do it the next day, I can still get it done. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I feel like that really helps. I feel like sometimes we feel like we could do a lot more than don't get me wrong, I'm not saying only do one thing a day and I'm not saying that, but I feel like sometimes you take on so much that you get to F it, like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah, like biting off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
For sure. And speaking of the night before, for me, the night before has become so crucial to my
Yes.
routine.
Yes.
If I don't set myself up the night before, my next day goes to shit.
Yes.
It really does. And that includes, like, I kind of have a game plan of my day. If I'm filming, my cameras need to be charging.
Yes.
Oh, that's the quickest way to get me agitated, overstimulated. If I try to find equipment and I can't find it, I can't find my tripod, I
Yeah.
can't find a memory card. Ooh,
Yeah.
I can't.
The worst
So-
thing is when you're in flow and you're filming something and then the camera dies and you're like, by the time this charges again, I won't be in flow anymore.
I know. So yeah, for me, it's just having my whole night, spending it like, do I need my hair to look a certain way for tomorrow? Like, let me do that the night before.
Yeah.
My outfit. Sometimes I'll wait to the last minute for my outfit and it will make me so late.
Oh, I can't do that.
I know.
I have a few go-to outfits for my everyday that it's like quick, easy, that I know like will look good, I feel like that's really important too in elevating your life because so much of your time is spent planning your outfit. And unless that's your work and you're a fashion, stylist or whatever it is, if, your outfit is not important to your work or what you do every day, it could take up a lot of time.
you know, if you look at it, a lot of like business owners, CEOs,
They wear the
they
same
wear
thing
like
every
essentially
day.
the same thing. And it's because they want to lessen their decision fatigue.
Yeah.
Because
That's
making a
one
lot
thing
of
us
decisions,
humans have.
yeah,
I think we can make like, I don't know the exact number, but it's scientifically proven that you can only make a certain amount of decisions a day.
and especially for women and moms specifically,
Yeah.
that's why we get so burnt out because we have to make decisions for not
I
one,
know.
not two,
God bless
not
you
three,
guys.
not four.
God
What's for
bless y'all.
dinner? What's for this? Like, what's for dinner?
my
My
God.
ass.
Yeah.
My ass.
I know. Oh my God.
But no, honestly, I'm really lucky to have a super hands-on partner. Like, that's something like Mel's kind of taken over. I can't. If I'm
Yeah.
working all day in this, don't ask me.
It's a lot.
Don't ask me nothing. Like, I get like stressed out. I'm like, don't ask me nothing.
I feel like planning meals and cooking is a job of its own. Because
It
think
is.
about it. You have to go to the grocery store. You have to, purchase your groceries. Like me, I live in an apartment building. So even bringing the groceries up to my apartment, not saying that it's crazy and a lot, but it's still,
It
time
adds
out of your
up.
day.
That's the thing. It's not like we're complaining, like, oh, I have to bring my groceries upstairs. But when you add up all of
The
the little
time.
things you have to do, that's why
Yeah.
you're exhausted at the end of the night.
Yeah.
So for
And then
me,
you cook, you have to clean up
Yeah.
after, you have to plan your meals. And it's a lot.
that's why I think it's so important to have a plan. Like, think about if you planned
Once
on a
a week.
Sunday,
Yes.
you have your meals planned out for the week, you prep some things.
Prep is
I
important.
know I don't love like like just a meal prep for 5 days, but planning, like having your vegetables chopped,
Yeah.
like that alone, having your
Saves a
chicken
lot of
marinated,
time.
literally all those, just saving 10 minutes here, saving 10 minutes there. By the end of the night, you have an hour that you can
Yeah.
spend taking a bath, reading your book, and having some of that
Yeah.
time to recharge,
Yeah,
For
for
But
sure.
I will say, especially as a mom, it can be hard because especially having little kids, they
I
aren't on
know.
routine.
I
Like maybe
know.
one night,
God
one,
bless y'all.
especially the more kids you have, one might be sick.
I know.
One might not be wanting to sleep.
I know.
Like there's just so many factors.
And sometimes like, mommy, I don't want this.
I know. I know. So there's a lot, but I do think again, there are steps that I've implemented into my life
Yeah.
to calm me down because I'm a hothead. I can get angry really quick. And I told myself I had to really sit back and reflect last year because I was just kind of, when I'm angry and agitated, I blow up around everyone. Like I have a very short fuse when I'm overstimulated and stuff like that. And I was also postpartum too. If I can't carry myself with grace, then I need to lessen my load.
Yeah.
If I want to be this boss babe that I am in my head, who's handling all these projects at once, if I'm going to go around yelling people in the process, then I need to step back. It's clearly not meant for me.
Yeah.
Like I have to have a meeting with myself, like a meeting with my team.
Yeah,
All the
yeah, yeah.
personalities in my head.
Have you seen those memes
No,
where it's
literally,
like,
like-
me having a team meeting and
it's like you like in different
Yeah,
positions.
yeah.
That was literally what I had to do. And I was like, Naz, it's not cute.
Yeah.
It's not cute. Like honestly, like one woman I look up to so much, Huda Beauty. If I found out she had to like cuss out everybody, like to handle all she does, I would have been like,
And
that's why I like admire her so much. Cause I feel like she like dominated the world, dominated the industry, and she
Yeah.
carried herself with so much grace.
grace.
So for me, just having a plan the night before, because I don't know what it is. The older I'm getting, I guess I just have a lot more responsibilities now. But I've been like really anxious at night. I get really anxious. Like I almost get like anxiety. I used to have never problems. Like, I never had problems sleeping, but it's just having so much more on my plate.
If anybody could sleep, it was you.
I know. I could literally sleep through.
Right. You would hibernate.
I would hibernate. I would sleep for 17 hours straight.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it's just sleep has been a lot harder for me. And I found one thing that helps me is writing down a to-do list. My mind will be racing with like everything I have to do. So just being able to like write it all down, it seems less daunting and scary.
I've always been a to-do list type of
Yeah.
girl, like my whole life. I don't know how people get through life without a
Same.
to-do list.
You know how in like school they would provide you a planner?
Yeah.
And some people would just like throw it away.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, I got my color-coded pens.
But I don't think they would do well in school. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's
true.
a reason your grades look at like that.
No, that is true. But yeah, I've always been just someone who needs a plan. I really
Yeah.
do. And again, just preparing the night before is really like a game changer.
Yeah.
And also just sleep. Like you need good sleep.
So people will be like, I'll wake up early. I'll only get like 4 hours of sleep, but I'm going to go hit the gym, because I want to make it to
Yeah.
the gym. So I'll wake up and I'll go work out. And I don't think people realize you're actually doing your body a harm.
Right.
Like sleep is just as important as everything else.
Recovery, for sure.
Yeah.
I honestly would even argue that recovery and sleep is more important than your exercise. I think it goes food first. Again, I'm not no expert.
Yeah.
But just what I've seen, it's diet first, like your nutrition.
Yes.
Sleep. And then exercise.
Yeah.
I almost feel like when I don't exercise, like I slim down a little more. Like I lost 10 pounds already just implementing walking. And that's another thing that's helped me a lot too is I swear nature, being out
Yes.
and getting fresh air. Like if I don't get fresh air daily,
yeah,
it's
100%. And sunlight. Sunlight is very important.
It just sucks because some people don't live in an area with sunlight.
Yeah. But I've heard some people, because it's a thing, like during the winter, like some places don't get much sunlight. And there's this thing that you can buy that like...
Yeah, like it's like fake sun.
Yeah, it's fake sun, but it helps. It really helps your mentality. But yeah, sleep is very important because it also... When you don't get enough sleep, you crave more food. Like you get more cravings, you're more hungry. I think it shoots up your cortisol. I'm not 100%
Yeah, or when you work out too hard.
Yeah. So you guys, sleep is very important. Make sure you're getting, I would say at least 7. Like try to get 7.
I need 9.
The more the merrier. Actually, no, if you're sleeping all day, that's no good either. But like, I don't know how people get through like, I sleep 3 hours. I'm like, how?
Remember I came to visit you in Miami last time and I slept for 17 hours.
Oh, yeah.
I literally slept for 17 hours.
You were tired, girl. You're a mom.
Yeah, I fell asleep at 6, right? 6 p.m. And then I didn't wake up until what time? I slept a full day, right? The full next day I slept.
See, if any other person was with you, they would be freaking out.
Yeah,
but I know you.
Yeah, Yasmin didn't even care. She just went about her like routine.
No, I would check on you to see if you're breathing, but that's pretty... Like, let me make sure she's alive.
Oh my
but
gosh.
I knew you needed your rest for
did
sure.
Need my rest,
and that's my thing. When people say I need rest, I respect it because the thing I don't like is when people say that it's laziness.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want to sleep, you're lazy. It's like, no, there's a fine line between being lazy and being like burnt out and tired and your body needing proper rest to recover.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like having something you need to charge the battery. You know what I mean? Like, how far is this like toy or whatever gonna go? You have to recharge.
And especially just learning about the female, like the women's
yeah.
hormone cycle was very eye-opening.
Yes.
And it actually surprises me so many women aren't aware of our hormone cycles.
Yeah.
They don't know because they'll compare themselves to a man and be like, well, how come he can go to the gym and do all that? We are not the same, girl.
No.
We are literally not built the same.
No.
And turns out it takes a woman about 4 weeks, 28 days to go through the same hormone cycle that a man goes through in 24 hours.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
What? Like that does not make any sense. And you know, when we do say, again, people want to be so black and white on social media, but it's like when we say men and women are equal, people just hear that sentence and they run with it and they don't want to even take a second to hear like what we're trying to say. But you can't compare because us women, like
our hormones are different.
We need more rest. We literally need more rest than men. And when you think about it growing up, you ever remember when your mom was just like, I need to just go lay down?
Yeah.
Or your mom just like went on a walk?
Yeah.
Like I swear, it's like us women, we need time to just lay horizontal. Like that needs to be scheduled.
I agree.
In our day.
Yeah. Yeah. Just rest.
Because again, like I guarantee you, we're carrying way more of a mental load than men are, whether we want to or not.
Yeah. I feel like a woman's brain is like, what should I do? What should I wear? How should I have my hair? Oh my God, I saw this new product on TikTok. What should I
need to
have
go
for my
get
kids?
My husband's best friend's birthday is next
tomorrow.
week.
Oh my gosh.
I need to make sure he gets a gift.
Did my husband wear his underwear today? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my God,
like,
Kayvon has, this needs to be signed. Like,
yeah.
And again, I'm not saying men don't do that as well, but it's like for us, it's just like my brain never shuts off.
Yeah. I can't even imagine with a family because me not having a family, my brain doesn't shut off.
I know you are very sympathetic towards me.
I know because I know if I had kids and a husband, my mind 24/7 would be like, are they okay? Are they okay? Am I okay? Are we, like 24/7. So
Yeah.
I could just imagine.
It is a lot.
Because, you know, like, for example, when you're like, when I'm by myself and let's say like dinner, I'm like, I'll figure something out for dinner. Like, it's not crazy. But if I had little kids looking at me with eyes, like, I need to feed them, like, that's when it's like,
I can barely feed myself 3 meals a day. Like,
I know.
I know.
God
But
bless you, mother. I think I've said this like 100 times during this episode, but God bless you guys.
thank you.
Like,
Thank you. No, it's
a lot.
It's a lot. But honestly, I wouldn't change it for the world.
I wouldn't. Like, they're precious. Children are so, so precious.
I feel like I changed a lot becoming a mom too.
Oh, I feel that you did. You've
Yeah.
matured a lot. And I feel that you've become a lot more sympathetic.
Yeah.
A lot.
I have a lot more empathy. Because life just got really real after I became a mom. And again, I don't see the world as so black and white as I used to.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves now. Like, I hate when people can't like have nuance to anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's either this way and they don't even try to see the other person's point of view.
I feel that that plays a lot in leveling up. It's also knowing what works best for you and just going about it regardless of what other people think or other people are doing.
Yeah, and
just
setting out boundaries.
Like, just figure out what's right for you. Who cares what other people are doing? Who cares what's right for other people?
Yeah.
Like, we're not minions, you know? We're human beings. We all have our different wants, different needs, different personalities, different ways we operate best. So I feel like going about and just trying to be one way or trying to follow what other people are doing, it really sets you up for failure, you know?
Yeah.
So,
definitely. I think with you also, like you said in your videos, like I try to avoid seed oils, which you do for like a good 90% of it. But like if you want the Nutella croissant, you're going to eat the Nutella croissant.
yeah.
You know, like life, there needs to be harmony.
Balance.
There needs to be balance.
Like, we're not robots, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you can't press a button and be like, okay, I'm this way now. So I feel like another way to level up, and it's trial and error, really. Like, you just have to figure out what works best for you. Like, for me, for example, I know that for me, I get the most work done and I work at my best in the mornings. I know that about myself, you know? And there's people that enjoy working at night more, you know? So for me, you just have to figure out what works best for your lifestyle and just doing that.
I think we live in an era where we just kind of want a rule book. Like 75 hard, 75 soft.
By the way, I don't like any of those. I don't like any type of like diet but I get it because people want
structure. They want guidance.
Yes. But I feel like that also sets you up for like disappointment and almost giving up, because if you do one thing wrong that is not in routine,
I miss a day, ooh,
you're like,
I'm
oh,
done.
like I messed up, and you feel like so bad about yourself instead of making it a lifestyle change. You know,
Yeah,
it has to be a
consistency.
lifestyle change. And you will see that when it is a lifestyle change, you don't have to be so strict.
Yep.
You know? Like, I do avoid seed oils, but that doesn't mean that if I have like a drop of seed oil, my body malfunctions. You know what I mean? Like, you just go about your life the best that you can. I feel like that's one way to level up. Stop being so strict on yourself.
Yeah, and definitely with leveling up, just show up.
Just show up.
Show up.
Yes.
And I think that's something that for those of us who like I'm using the weight loss because we talked about at the beginning, but for people who like want to lose weight, I see like you go online, there's so much info about it because people want like that magic cure. Like they want that one maybe diet that you did or the one food, or I don't know. They just want like that one set thing instead of just doing like a big lifestyle change. And it's like when you just show up consistently.
Yes.
And with
I
the
agree
gym
with that.
too, because I see people when they do Q&As about like their weight loss, people are like, how do you stay motivated? And I swear every person who got asked that question, who like got to the finish line, they said, I didn't have motivation every day. I had discipline.
Discipline.
Treated it
is the number one thing.
whether they wanted to or not. They treated it like a doctor's appointment. If it's scheduled, like they're going to show up and go.
Yeah.
And I think that's what sets people apart. The people that get to their goals versus the people that have goals and aspirations and they don't achieve it. And again, like you said, you have to find out what fits you in your routine. There's not a one size fits all to anything.
Yeah.
And there's certain ways, like me and you even work so different.
Yeah.
So it's just understanding what works for me, setting boundaries, setting small goals, and the world is your oyster.
I also feel like what really helps is trying to get ready every single day.
Yeah.
Or as much as you can. Don't get me wrong. We all have our days. but making it a habit to get up in the morning, work on your mental. I always take like 10 minutes for my mental, and just like I don't go on my phone. I you know, wake up. Even if I have to be somewhere, I schedule my alarm like 10 minutes earlier to make sure I have my time. And I feel that getting ready every day, a lot of people do work from home too. So it's so easy to get in the habit of just staying in your PJs all day and not even leaving the house. And I feel like getting ready and leaving the house, we don't have to leave the house every day, but I
have
feel
to leave
like
the house every day.
yeah.
I'll go to the post office and back. I need an outing. I need an outing at least once a day.
I agree. But yeah, just getting ready every day really, really helps. I said that because being in the house, people are like, why should I, change?
Yeah, I do agree. I have a quick 5-minute routine. Like it's literally 5 minutes. I don't like wearing makeup every day, and I also think it's really bad for my skin.
Yeah.
So I don't. But literally just having those set routines, I think that's also something that leveled up my life, is having like my go-to hair.
Yes,
My
go-tos really help.
The go-to outfit. So just feeling like I'm ready for the day instead of waiting for the day to happen to me, and just kind of staying ahead of it. Because think about it. Like, let's say you get a last minute call from your friend and she's like, girl, you want to meet me for coffee? And what, you're in your pajamas, your hair is like, and you're going to be like, oh, I have to get ready. Like, no, they're going to miss out on a fun time with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
I would rather just be ready for what the day throws at me. I'm not saying full glam, but just like if I'm not
together.
Yeah, if I'm not 5 minutes away from being able to leave the door, then we have a problem. Having your purse cleaned out, that's at me. I need to clean out my purses.
That's always been
so
my
bad.
thing.
Dude, my totes.
No,
I want to look in there right now.
Yeah, no. For me, like, I don't know if I'm a clean freak, a neat freak. Like, I need things clean all the time.
Sis, and then I had 3 kids, and now I've surrendered to the mess.
They're worth it though.
They are. But I used to remember I couldn't sleep in a dirty room.
Yeah.
Remember?
You would clean my room.
I was the OG clean freak, and now I'm like, as long as the dishes are washed, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's taken up so much mental energy, so much mental space.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore as long as we get a good cleanup. So yeah, routine and just making sure I just stay consistent, because that's my thing. I can be very consistent and then I let it go. Like, I'm not going to lie, right now in my life, I haven't been doing the greatest job. There was a good 2-3 weeks of my life where I was so on it. And this was recent. When we got back from Ohio, I just had this like surge of energy to like have my life together because we were so off routine for so long. But I was waking up every morning and going into Pilates. I was up before my kids, which is literally a game changer. Because like you said, you need a second in the morning. But I was kind of allowing the kids to be my alarm clock. So I'd wake up and like scramble. I did not like that.
Yeah.
And I go on my phone first thing, and I really hate it.
That's the worst.
It throws me off.
Yes.
And I keep doing it. It's like when you know your habits are bad, but you keep doing it. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. I mentioned in one of the videos, I did a How I Leveled Up video. I did mention that I have, I follow accounts that are like inspirational to me. So it's like sometimes if I do want to get on my phone, which I don't do often, like the first half, but when I do, it's almost motivation when I, because I only follow like educational accounts or accounts that are good for my mental health, pretty much.
Yeah.
But what do you think happened to you? Like, what do you think caused you to get off path?
Honestly, just so many projects going on.
Burnt out. I told you. I feel like sometimes for some reason, like our nature, when we get motivated, we go full throttle, right?
I think now that this is all working out, I can go back to my routine.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, the older I'm getting, the more anxious I'm getting. Maybe it's like postpartum anxiety. I don't know.
I feel like things get real. I get it, because I felt like I could handle a lot more stuff being thrown at me back in the day. I was juggling like 1,000,002 things. But I feel like it's because when you're younger, you don't think about the bad side. Like, you don't think of things going wrong necessarily.
Yeah.
Did you?
The older I'm getting, I'm like, never say never.
You always see
the
like,
second you
oh my
say
gosh,
never,
what's my plan B? What am I gonna do if this doesn't happen? And I feel like it exhausts your mind. I feel like our minds get exhausted.
Yeah. And now I know I have like 3 kids to live for.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like a whole nother layer of me just being anxious about life.
I agree.
And all of that. But yeah, I did go off track. And well, my walks, I still go on my walks. I just haven't been
Walks
doing
are
Pilates.
great, guys.
The way it clears my mind, I listen to my audiobook
I love walks.
and I just zone out for a second. And it's like the most beautiful thing. Like literally my walks are like my therapy.
And I literally, I love nature.
Me too.
So being here in LA, my room, I hear birds chirping in the morning and it's the most peaceful, like beautiful way to wake up. I don't have that luxury from in my apartment, but it's so nice. Like nature is just so beautiful. And I feel like where I live, I'm blessed enough to be able to go to the beach. And every time
you have the good
I'm
beaches.
at the beach, I'm like, I just love, if I'm ever feeling anxious or stressed or anything like that, I literally just go lay under the sun. There's something about the sun and the warmth of the sun that I'm just like, it feels so good to me.
Definitely like the mental clarity that it brings just being out and just
I definitely feel like
relaxing.
that's a way to elevate as well.
I even find that in my kids. Like when like one of the kids can't stop crying, like Arya or Kai, I literally just take them outside. I just step outside. I swear it's never failed.
Yeah.
And they'll relax.
I could see that.
Just being like cluttered in a home, like you just feel so.
Yeah.
Even in the morning, the windows open. Again, I know we're like pretty spoiled being able to do that living in like LA, living in Miami, but it really is a game changer. Like fresh air really just.
I feel like even when we lived in Ohio, like think about it, even if it was snowing, just being out, even though it's cold, like bundle up, but just breathing air from outside, it really, really helps.
It does. You know what's one thing that's helped me? I need to get back into doing this, but it helped me go to bed so much quicker is I would leave my phone like not by me. I would like go put it in like the bathroom. But see, I would need my phone next to me like during the night. So I'd have Mel, because he always goes to sleep after me. I'd have him come move my phone to my nightstand like once I was
That's
asleep.
a good idea.
But yeah, I was like kind of like grounding myself. Like I'm like, I treated myself like a teenager and I was like, go put your phone up. If I have my phone, like I'll just keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and I'll be like 10 more minutes, 10 more minutes. But just, it's, our parents are right. It's that damn phone. It's the damn phone. I swear all my life problems go back to that phone.
Yeah. I also feel like another way to level up is to just do. And that's one thing I had to take on myself. Like just do it. Cause I would always be like, oh, like let me wait until this happens for me to do this. Like just do it. And I feel like a lot of times you learn from trial and error.
Right.
And error is okay. Yeah. Like that's one thing that I had to like teach myself, like error is okay. You know?
You think about it, if we didn't have all these errors, we wouldn't have the learning experience.
Even this podcast, this episode, guys, there was like a lot of errors that, you know, we had to learn.
Technical difficulties.
And we couldn't just be like, oh, we have to, if we would have waited, it would have taken forever.
Yeah.
So don't wait. Just dive in. You'll learn along the way. I promise you'll be okay.
Especially if the thing you're putting off is starting social media. People love the journey.
Yeah.
All the people I see that are popping like shared their journey. Yeah. People love the relatability. They love just, like they find inspiration in that. Yeah. People don't want to wait until you're perfect to see it. Yeah. You know?
Social media, I feel like, is the greatest thing because there's an audience for everybody.
There really is.
I will say that. Think about how many people live on this earth. Like there's somebody that's going to watch you, you know? Right. Like that's what I love about social media is just put yourself out there and you're going to cultivate an audience if you are, you know, consistent and you just do.
This year, if you are still putting it off in 2024, I don't know what to tell you. Like you got to look yourself in the mirror. Just like I had a team meeting with my personalities. You need to have a team meeting and realize it is the best time to start social. Yeah. If you have not done it yet, because back when we started, you needed like the most expensive camera. Like you needed a DSLR, studio lighting, this, that, and a third. Now we have TikTok, we have Instagram, short format content that honestly I find performs better when it's filmed on my iPhone. Yeah. Like now people want the like simple quality and people just want to see you talk, hear what you're doing. Yeah. So I think like the time is now. Like, you know, maybe this is somebody's sign. If maybe they're like, I really want to do something, but I'm just not sure. Maybe you were meant to hear
not
this.
Just social media. I feel like any project you want to take on, like,
you know what
take
else
it on.
I hate? When people are like, well, I don't want to go to college now because by the time I finish, I'll be 29.
You'll be 29 anyways.
Literally.
Right.
In 4 years, you're going to be 29. So would you rather be 29 without the degree that you wanted or 29
Right.
with the, you know?
Yeah. Guys, working towards whatever goal or passion you have is never a waste of time.
Never.
You're not wasting time. Like the time is going to pass whether you like it or not. And at least you could look back and say, I tried something. Because the worst thing in the world is regret, is looking back and being like, I wish I would have.
Yeah.
I wish I would have, you know? I would rather be like, I tried. And hey, it didn't work out. So now I can go on with peace instead of, you know, just time going and going and going. And you're just like, I wish I would have. I feel like that's
like my biggest fear is being on my deathbed and being like,
we never
did the podcast.
The podcast, I know.
I
that would have killed us.
Imagine me like 85 years old, like, yes,
would have been like,
we never
sis,
did the damn podcast.
We would have been like, sister, we should have done that podcast. And you would have seen us with the crane.
Literally.
Starting the podcast.
Yeah, that's like my biggest fear. I'd rather try and fail. And that's one thing I do admire about myself. I really don't mind failing. I don't.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you tried, are you really a failure? Because to me, failing, like being a failure is not trying, like you said. To me, if in the future, I'll look back and be like, I failed.
Yeah.
But if I tried it and it flopped, at least I can say I tried.
This is what I say. It's only lessons. No mistakes, only lessons. You know? Like no one's life is peaches and roses like their whole life, you know? Like things happen.
Yeah, y'all don't see what happens behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest problem with social media is that I'm not saying everything is fake, because I think we also need to learn to applaud for people when good things do happen in their life. But you are looking at a highlight reel of somebody's life.
Yeah.
You do not know what's going on behind closed doors in their personal life, with their families, with all of that. So again, that's another reason why I grew up and I give people a lot more grace.
Yeah.
Is because life humbled me in so many ways.
Yeah.
So many ways. And again, that's why I never say never. I think you're goofy if you say I'll never. Like, girl.
No.
The second you say never, God is like,
gonna humble you. Like, oh, you think never?
Right.
But yeah, but I also feel like another mindset that we should stay away from is the victim mindset.
Yeah.
I feel like just staying in a victim mentality will only put you back. Like, okay, you're a victim, now what?
Yeah.
You're just gonna sit and suffer the rest of your life. Either make changes so you're no longer a victim, or, you know, like, just know that you are in control of your life for the most part. Like, I know people are in certain situations.
Black and white situation. Again, people are going to take your sentence and run with it. Like,
like,
you privileged little girl.
I'm very understanding. I feel like there are, you little girl. I feel like, no, there are situations. There are situations that are very, very heavy. I do understand. But I don't know. I feel like sometimes in certain situations, like for example,
agree. Like, woe is me.
Woe is me. Like, for example, a girl that keeps going back to an ex that keeps hurting her.
Yeah.
Like, that is just being a victim at this point. You know, like, it's there are places
take responsibility.
where, yeah.
That's something I had to tell myself too. Like, if things aren't working out for you, you have to ask yourself, like, can things be better? Can things be better?
Can things be better? And if it's a yeah, then
again, not everybody has the privileges to make certain moves, but I think again, your mindset really has to shift, and that's very hard. I think we underestimate how hard it is to shift your mindset.
It is very, very challenging.
It is.
I feel like the hardest thing to control is your mind.
Thoughts and your mind.
Yes. It is very, very hard. Because
I don't even feel like I'm fully there yet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still a work in progress.
Me too. I mean, I feel like everyone is, no matter what age.
Sister, I thought like when I was 18, I'm like, what else do I got to? I thought I was so mature. I knew everything.
I know.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
You know what's crazy? I feel like when I was 18, I felt like I knew more than I know now.
If I could get 18-year-old Naz back, like, I would take over the world. Like, now I have anxieties and fears.
Your brain didn't click yet.
Even
our brains didn't click yet.
Last time I was in Ohio, one of my childhood best friends told me, she's like, Naz, you're like a lot more anxious than you used to be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because life humbled me.
Yeah.
Like, now I have real life fears. Like, now I have kids I worry about leaving motherless and all of that. Like, I don't have a choice anymore. Like, I don't have a choice to be lazy. I literally don't have that choice.
Yeah.
So it like lights a fire under you. And I'm like, okay, like time's a ticking.
Yeah.
But then again, I remind myself like 30s are the new 20s.
Yeah.
I used to think like 25 was old.
I
Like
know.
life is just getting started.
It is. I feel like especially now, there's a blurred line between the age of 20 and 40, I want to say. Like it's just
Literally.
everyone's kind of meshed together like in ages, you
We're all
know?
just trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And I feel like that's another way to level up is just realize that everyone is figuring it out.
Yeah, give
There's
people
no
grace.
one that has everything figured out in every aspect of their world. A lot of times you see somebody that, you know, their business might be going great and their relationships they're still figuring out. Or their relationships is great, but they're still trying to figure out what to do with their lives. Like
Or you're
no
comparing,
one has it all figured out.
or you're comparing somebody's chapter
Mm-hmm.
35 to your chapter 1.
Yeah.
I tend to do that a lot. Like I'll sit there and
You
compare.
do actually.
I do. And I'm like, wait, like this person could have spent so many years
Yeah.
to get to the point where they're at. And I'm expecting to get there like in the same day. Honestly, I think about it too, because using social media, for example, like it took me 8 years to get a million followers on YouTube, subscribers. I would be very frustrated if someone who just started was sitting here complaining to me like, oh, like you have a million, I'm not growing that fast, da, da, da. And I'm like, girl, I've been doing this stuff for 13 years.
Yeah.
Like that would be frustrating to me. And I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Same like when I did pole for a little bit, like, dude, pole is so hard.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing behind it. It's like these women are so strong, but they make it look effortless. That's what makes it so hard because it's literally so painful, so hard. You're holding your body weight against a pole. Like, what do you think is holding you up there? It's your skin.
Yeah.
Remember, I was like covered in bruises. And I'd get frustrated in the first or second class because I couldn't do a move. And the teacher's like, girl, I've been doing this for 13 years.
And see, this is another thing I want to mention with leveling up. For example, your instructor, that's her livelihood.
That's her livelihood. Yeah.
That's what she has to do.
That's
That's
her
her
YouTube.
life.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like a lot of times, I remember back in my college days, a lot of girls would compare themselves to girls on Instagram that are, you know, at that time it was even celebrities. Like, how does she have this or how does she look like this? And I'm like, that's their livelihood.
I don't think people realize that.
Yeah. Like, this person is not going to school every day. This person is not going to a 9 to 5 every day. They have more time to dedicate to what you're seeing. You guys don't have the same
24 hours in a day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. People are like, what is that one famous thing? Like Beyonce has the same 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm like, no, she really doesn't.
Beyonce has a team of people, not taking anything away from Beyonce. She's a queen. We saw her in concert. Amazing, amazing woman. But what I'm trying to say is that comparing a person that doesn't have a team of people, that's not a fair comparison.
A lot of these IG models that people are comparing themselves to, I think that's where the lines blur. I feel like I keep saying that, but that's where the lines blur because people look at Instagram models and essentially they're regular people. We don't put them at the same platform, the same pedestal as a celebrity. I think people can look at celebrities and be like, well, they're a celebrity. That's why their life is the way that it is.
Yeah.
But then you look at an IG model and you're like, well, she's just like me essentially. But no, like her full-time job is her looks.
Yeah.
She dedicates.
Like if she doesn't look like that, she can't eat.
Right. Like she's not going to a 9 to 5. She needs to have her body the way she wants it to look so she can do her Fashion Nova deals and all that stuff.
To pay for a roof over her head.
You know? So you can't compare yourself and wonder like, why don't I look like these people? Because it's like they have more time, they have more resources. And again, that's literally their
livelihood.
Job.
Yeah.
And like a model, she has to look a certain way. Like her going to the gym, to her, it's not like, oh, that's my free time, my me time. That's not her me time. That's part of her work routine.
Yeah. And also, I don't think people realize that, like, if you're going to school, you have a full-time job, whatever you might be doing, that is you putting in all that time into something else.
Yeah.
Whereas a model is putting that time that you're taking into something else into what you're trying to achieve as a model. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's really shooting yourself in the foot. Yeah. Honestly.
You'll forever be unhappy comparing yourself to people that are totally living a different life than you. I'm not sitting here crying that I'm not shaped like Bella Hadid. Am I walking a Dolce & Gabbana runway next week? No, I don't need to look like that. I don't.
Yeah.
And like Bella Hadid is putting in so much time and energy to
Because
be
that's
Bella
her
Hadid.
passion. That's her
life.
you
So
know?
it's unfair for me to even sit here and be like, oh my God, let me go cry because I don't look like Bella Hadid. Like,
yeah.
I just think also that's part of leveling up is to be realistic. Be realistic
For you.
for your life. Give yourself grace. Stop comparing yourself in general, let alone people that it's just like, it's not even a comparison. Like, you guys are living totally different lives. You know?
I agree.
And that's why. So, I mean, I get a lot of hate as a mom because I do have a village and I'm very vocal about the fact that I have a village. My parents help out, you know, my husband's very hands-on, and I'll get comments and I feel bad because I'll get hate about it and I'll tell people about it and they're like, well, why do you share that? Don't share that you have help. But I'm like, I would hate for a mom who also has 3 kids to watch my videos and compare herself to me and be like, how come Naz gets to go to events? How come Naz is getting a blowout? How come Naz is going to Pilates and I can't do that? I want her to know, girl, I have a village.
Yeah.
I do. I would feel really bad if they were trying to compare me like I was this superwoman.
Yeah.
So that's why I like having that the realistic expectations. And even then, I know it might seem like it because you guys see the highlight reel of my life, but there's so many days that goes by that I'm unable to go to Pilates. I'm unable to get my blowout. Like, you guys are seeing the final project, the final result.
Yeah.
And even the days that I am like fully with my kids, I don't want to whip the camera out because I'm like, that's again where the lines blur. Like right now, my work time is over. I got my work done yesterday. So now I just want to completely pour myself, give all my energy to my kids and not worry about what I look like on camera. Am I getting the right angle? Like, I want to focus on my children. But then people are like, she's never with our kids because I'm choosing to not film on those days.
Yeah.
So it's just, again, we need to stop looking at social media and thinking that's someone's everyday 24 hours in their life.
Yeah.
It's super frustrating.
That's the thing, you guys, like a picture, a 10-minute reel, or not even 10 minutes, like a couple minutes on a reel or a video. Even our YouTube videos, like 20 minutes over a whole week. We have to realize that social media is really people's, like you said, highlight reels, you know? And it's not real life. Like, people go through things just like you. People wake up, you know, not looking glam like you see on IG. So it's like, just be realistic and don't be too hard on yourself. I feel like that's the way to level up, is to just look at the bigger picture of your life and what do you want for you. Like, put away social media. Who cares what other people are doing? Who cares what other people think? Your friends, your family members, whomever. Do what makes you happy. Like, where do you want to be?
I feel like that's such a hard topic for us to talk about because I genuinely feel like me and you have never cared what people think.
Yeah.
So I can't even
Never.
I can't even
imagine.
Yeah, I can't even like resonate with that. I don't even know how to give advice to go about that because I'm like, girl, just don't care. But I get it. For some people, that's really hard. So
listen, if you're going to live your life according to what other people think you should do, you're going to end up very unhappy. Because I felt like I did that with you know, choosing pharmacy as my career. I did it just because, I don't know, I felt pressure from my family. And you're just not, you have to do what is right for you.
Yeah.
You know?
I totally agree. And, you know, obviously kids were making fun of me at school. I was doing social media in middle school and high school. And I genuinely just did not care. I don't know. Like, it's really hard to explain that. Like, that confidence, I don't know where it came from. I don't know. Where did we get it from?
I think it was how we were raised.
Yeah, Baba has always been like, who cares? Baba's like the OG who cares.
Who cares?
Because my mom would care what people think.
Yeah.
And Baba's like,
who cares?
Literally.
And guys, also, even being on the other side, like, stop judging people. Yes. That's one way to level up.
The second
stop judging
meet
people.
Someone new and they start judging other people,
I'm
or
like, listen, you and I are not vibing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not here to judge people.
You know what else I don't like? I don't like the girls that, let's say I'm just showing someone like a photo of a girl. I'm like, she's so pretty. And immediately they jump to point out flaws. To me, that's a big red flag.
Yeah.
Or if we're just watching like something on TV and then someone just unprovoked has something to say about the girl.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I don't like that. To me, I'm just like, why are you just jumping to find a flaw? To me, I'm like, you feel triggered. She is bringing out an insecurity on your part.
It's just negative energy.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I feel like Listen, however people want to live their lives, it's not your place to speak on. That's between that person and the higher power.
Yeah.
However they choose to live their life, that is their life. And I feel that, you know, the mind wants to be egotistical in a bit, to think that they're right or their views are right. Listen, who knows what views are right? Like, whatever works for you works for you. Whatever works for them works for them.
As long as they're not hurting anybody
As
in
long,
the process.
yeah, like, obviously there's
Yeah.
limits. I don't want people to
Yeah.
take this and like run with it, but it's really not our place to judge. Like, honestly, like, you know me, there's things that I don't agree with, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't agree with it, but if it makes them happy, it makes them happy. Like, I don't know. If it's not my thing, I just don't associate myself with it.
Yeah.
I remove myself. That's
Yeah.
it. You know?
I totally agree.
So
I hate judgment. I really do.
don't.
It's a
like
big
that.
turn off for me. Like, that will
Like how
immediately,
people live their lives or how they choose to live their, like, it's not good.
you know, one thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way, and I know people will probably argue about it and saying that's not what they meant, but I don't like when I like befriend someone and then they'll be like I'm vibing with a girl. I'm like, oh, you know, I can really see her being my friend. And then she goes, you know, I assumed you were like a big bitch, like before we met or I got to talk to you.
Really?
I don't know. I'm like, because I don't think that.
No.
I can't even think of one person that I can just assume she's a bitch. I feel like people project a lot. That's their own insecurities, their own judgment, and like they're mirroring that onto other people. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't know. I wouldn't look at a girl and just assume because she's pretty or something that she's a bitch.
Yeah.
I don't like to think negatively of people. So I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't really like that.
Yeah.
And
I
I know
agree.
people will argue about it, like, well, that's not what they meant. Or when someone's like, oh my God, you're so confident.
I don't like that. You're, oh my God, you're so confident.
I will say people will try to argue about that and be like, well, that's not what they meant. Because let me tell you, when my skin cleared up and my body's more of like the conventional type of attractiveness, I don't get the you're so confident anymore.
Yeah.
I was getting you're so confident when I was hairy and had acne to the gods. I was getting, oh my God, you're so confident. And wearing shorts when I'm like,
I feel like the best response for that is like, why shouldn't I be?
Literally.
And then let the person answer. It's like, you're so confident. Okay, why shouldn't I
that's
be
what
confident?
I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of backhandedness and people try to
Yeah.
play it off. And it's like, girl, read between the lines.
Yeah. I feel like
Because
nobody,
I don't say to Bella Hadid, oh my God,
Right.
how are you so confident?
like Adriana Lima, how are you so
I
confident?
don't think anybody's ever asked Adriana Lima, how is she so
right.
confident?
I don't like that.
Or, oh my God, do you ever see on TikTok? Oh my,
What?
let's say I'm like wearing a tank top, okay?
Oh my God, what?
And someone goes, oh my God, Naz, I have the same arms and I usually feel like a linebacker, but you look so good in your tank top and you're inspiring me to wear my tank top. I'm like, oh my God, girl, thank you so much. Like, that's exactly what I was going for when I chose to put this shirt on this morning.
Yeah.
Like, again, I know
get
people
it.
mean well,
Yeah.
but again, you're not commenting on Adriana Lima and saying, girl, how are you rocking that tank top?
I know. Oh my gosh, I get it. Yeah, that's one thing. I feel like sometimes when people try to compliment, it kind of like backfires.
I know.
You know?
I'll get that. Like, you made me so confident having acne. Let's say I made a makeup video dedicated to covering acne. Then I think those comments are warranted. That's a time and place.
Yeah.
But if I'm just posting like a cute little selfie video feeling myself and you
Yeah.
comment, you made me so confident in my acne. Girl,
Yeah.
bye. Blocked.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I also feel like we should stop like having other people's misery make us happier.
Yeah.
For me, when I'm not feeling good, I watch things that would make me feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm sad and I see another girl sad, that will make me even more sad.
Yeah.
That's just a lot of sadness.
Well, you're very empathetic.
Yeah.
Other people, for some reason, seeing someone miserable, like brings them up, makes them happier.
Yeah. No.
And again,
I just feel like it makes you, I kind of get it. It makes you feel like I'm not the only one going through this. Like
Yeah.
another person's going through it, which I can get. But I
I don't like that being sad is relatable, but being happy isn't. Because when I
Yeah.
post a video crying and I'm like sad, I get comments like, oh my God, you're so relatable. But if I'm like, y'all, I'm so happy. Things have been really working out for me. We got the podcast up and running. Like life has been good. Like you think people want to hear that?
I
They don't
feel
want to
like
hear
more
that.
so now. I feel like more so now we're more in the like positive movement era.
Yeah,
I
I
feel
do
like, and
love
I
this
love
wellness
that.
era. Me too.
And I feel like it's all about like happier energy instead of like I feel like now it's spoken about like, oh, that's negative. Like that's negative energy. It wasn't like that like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like everybody wanted to boast in their negative energy 5 years ago, if you think
Yeah.
about it.
I think we just all went through such a hard time during COVID that we're all just happy that
We're like, can there be a light at the end of the
know,
tunnel,
literally.
please?
You know what I found funny? Because remember like April Fool's jokes? I swear, since COVID, ain't nobody been joking no more.
There's no
I ain't
fooling.
seen one April Fool's joke.
Right, this year there was no April Fools. Oh my God.
Like we're just trying to get through the day. Like we're just trying to get through life.
I feel that the year of quarantine and COVID really shook everyone up.
Yeah.
I feel like it really brought us back to like, listen, the life that we have, we're like privileged, you know, because we were on lockdown for a year. Like just being outside and driving your car and going and getting a coffee.
It was so hard postpartum.
Yeah.
I was like clawing my way out. It was like, remember they said it like it was airborne? So like you couldn't even go on a walk outside. Like you couldn't even go to the park. And again, like nature makes me happy.
Right. It was a lot.
It was a hard time. So yeah, I just feel like we just want to hear positive stuff now.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to hear anything heavy.
And that's also how you level up, you guys.
Kiki. Like we just want to like have fun.
Yeah. That's how you level up. Like what you consume, you become.
Literally.
What you consume, not just food, you guys. What this podcast, whatever, this episode, what you watch, what you listen to, what you interact with, the people you surround yourself with, that's all things you're consuming.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure, like you, for the most part, you control your life. For the most part. Now, I know there's situations out there, but, you know, try your best to consume to the best of your ability things that are positive.
Yeah.
Because that's what you will become.
That was my big thing. Remember, I used to love true crime and I would listen to it while I was
I never understood.
sweeping the floor and like doing laundry. I'm like, let me listen to true crime.
I never understood that.
It's very heavy on my spirit now.
It's always sad. I've never,
Yeah,
you guys,
Yasmin's
to
never
this
liked
day,
it.
I don't like scary stuff. I don't like true crimes. I never even really liked like crazy reality shows.
Really?
Like Basketball Wives, all of that. Like not saying that they're not like entertaining once in a blue moon, but I've never been the girl to watch
daily
every
watch it.
single, like that's just so much drama.
It's very draining.
It's so much drama. And it's like, when you have your own life and like things to figure out on your own, like I'm not trying to see all this negativity and take it on.
Well,
honestly.
see, people see the negativity and they're like, at least my life isn't that bad.
Yeah.
So it makes them forget about their problems for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, I still love horror. Like I'll forever be a horror junkie. But for me, true crime just hits a little different because it's someone's real life.
That just scares me, you guys. I don't know what it is, but you mentioned it a little bit earlier. I guess I am very empathetic. So for me, when I see someone sad or in sorrow or going through things, I take that on as my own. And it like wears me down very heavy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why. So when I started out in school, I wanted to get into the medical field and I worked in the hospital and I'm like, I can't take it. I cannot take it. Like seeing people suffering every day and you can't help them.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, becoming a doctor and helping them, yes, but sometimes even a doctor can't help.
Or they don't even want to be helped.
And it's, I can't.
I know,
guys.
it's a lot. It's a lot mentally.
It takes a strong person to be there.
You know, one of our fave girls, the Wizard Liz.
Oh.
Can you imagine if we had her on the podcast?
I would
one day?
love to.
I would die.
Wizard Liz, you want to come?
I know, yeah. Everybody send this to the Wizard Liz. But I'll never forget because I saw her confidence video came up for me. And you know, like my confidence video was like one of my most viewed videos.
Yeah.
So I was like, ooh, let me watch. Let me see what she got to say. And I click on her video. And the first sentence she says is, why would you be confident? She goes, you have no skills, no routine, no attributes. Like she just shreds you at the beginning. And some people probably wouldn't like that, but I loved it. I'm like, oh, you're so right.
Yeah.
Why would I be confident? What do I have to offer? I was like, girl, you're so right.
Yeah.
You know, people, it's so crazy, especially in this Gen Z generation. Let me tell you, I don't want to downplay mental health. That is my number one thing. Quick disclaimer. But I think a lot of people will be feeling very down energetically. And it's like, girl, when was the last time you saw sun?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you got off your phone? When was the last time you drank some water? And a lot of times it's like people don't even take care of their mind, their body, or their spirit.
Or their gut. Your
And they
gut is your
expect to
second
be
brain.
happy. Yeah, it's like you need to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Even for me, I'll be having a great day today, but if I wake up the next morning without a routine, without a plan, and I just sit in my pajamas in my bed all day, I feel so low energy. I feel like in such a dark place. If I keep consuming too, I find that if I just keep consuming and consuming, I literally feel like I just finished a workout.
Yes.
And I used to not be like that.
Because you're going through a mental workout.
Yeah. I've definitely become more in tune with like my spirit. And I realize like when I keep consuming, which again, it's kind of hard to distinguish because for me, I also treat it like this is part of my job. I need to see what's trending right now.
That's what's tough.
Yeah. I'm like, I need to see what's trending. What are the girlies? What do they want to see? Like I need to stay on top of that too.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like I can use that excuse a little too much to just be like scrolling through social media.
Yeah.
But again, it all comes down to you have to discipline yourself. Treat yourself like a child.
Yeah.
Treat yourself like a kid. Put on timers. Ground yourself. Like you're grounded. You're sitting home.
Yeah.
And you're going to bed at your bedtime.
I feel like the biggest thing with elevating yourself is knowing when to remove yourself from any situation. Whether it be you scrolling on social media too much or being with somebody or having friends or being in a career that you don't like knowing when to remove yourself.
Yeah.
I feel that it's okay to be unhappy, but not taking actionable steps to make yourself happy is where it crumbles. I feel that another thing that really helps with mental health is having a passion and something that you look forward to. Like it ignites your soul. It doesn't have to be your job. It could be your hobby. It could be a activity that you like. It could be a hobby. Whatever it is that fulfills you.
Yeah.
And I feel that that really helps. For everybody, it's different. Some people enjoy dancing. Some people love their work. It's their baby.
Yeah.
Some people love self-care. Some people, love to watch animals. Whatever it is, it has to be something that you really, really love.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I would say like it shouldn't be your line of work because I feel like since your work ties into your livelihood and your income, sometimes I've seen this a lot where people start out loving their job and when it becomes a job, they start hating it because then you have to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I feel like finding something that you love outside of that really helps level you up because every time you do it, you're going to be in a more positive space.
You're going to be in alignment.
Yes. Yes.
And yeah, it really does change the game when you find your passion.
Yeah.
It gives you, like you said, something to look forward to. Like we said at the beginning, life is a journey.
Yeah.
Don't compare your chapter.
Nobody has it all figured out, guys.
Don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody's chapter 225. That's so unfair to you.
Right.
And I think we need to start speaking to ourselves in a kinder way.
Yes.
I've gotten a lot better at that. I'm not mean to myself anymore. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because if someone said it to me, I'd swing. So why would I say it to myself?
Right. For me, I feel like sometimes I think about like if I had a kid and somebody was talking to my kid like that, like imagine somebody talking to KK like that or Aria or Kai.
I would not allow that at all.
Right. So why would you do that to yourself kind of thing?
Like you need to give yourself some kindness.
Yeah.
And everybody makes mistakes. That's the number one thing.
Mistakes are okay. There's a problem if you don't make mistakes, I feel like.
Right.
Because nobody's perfect.
Right.
That's one thing I had to,
Right.
get better at. But yeah, I hope you guys got some tips. You enjoyed.
This is definitely a topic that we can keep coming back to. Because again, like I said, life's a journey.
And we're still learning
We're still learning, girl. Like literally my brain just clicked. I'm like, I feel like I'm a baby.
I would always tell her this. Wouldn't I always tell you? I'm like, Naz, at 25, I don't know what it is, but a little switch goes off in your brain.
And then you said it happens again at 30.
It happens again at 30. It happens again, you guys. If you haven't reached, there's another click. And I wonder what the other click is because I'm sure it doesn't end at 30. But I'm telling you, like, you just evolve and you grow. And that's the beauty of us, you guys. That's the beauty of nobody's the same their whole lives. We evolve, we grow, we learn. It's like a baby, a baby's born when they're starting to walk, they fall down a few times. No baby starts walking,
right.
As soon as they are born. So I feel like
unless your name is Aria Wade, she got everything. She got everything figured out already.
Right. Oh my God. We need to learn from Aria Wade.
I know, literally. I don't think I've ever said her full name like that.
I know.
Why does that sound like somebody else's name?
Aria Wade.
Aria Wade?
Sounds really cool. We always call her
Aria
Mooch.
Aria Maya Wade? That's Mooch.
Mooch. I know, that's our Mooch.
Wait, that's my daughter's name. Why am I having an out-of-body experience right now?
Moochie
like,
Mama?
I feel like I'm in a parallel universe. Aria Maya Wade.
Because she sounded like an adult. She sounded like we were talking about an adult, and she's a little tiny baby.
That's Mooch, y'all. That's Mooch for the next 5 years.
So that's Mooch, yeah.
That's Mooch. But yeah, guys, that's it for this episode. We're gonna keep coming back to topics like this. We should definitely get people's opinions.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool, like to hear what other people did to level up.
And you guys, and we love learning from you guys too.
We do.
We have episodes planned out. We have a few. We got so excited and wrote a whole list.
Yeah.
But whatever you guys want us to talk about, maybe we can incorporate it in one of our episodes.
Make sure you guys go follow us. We'll have all of our social handles linked down below. Make sure you guys follow our What My Sis Said Instagram page and our TikTok. And make sure you guys go hug your sis, call your sis. Make sure she watched the last episode of What My Sis Said. And yeah, guys, this was fun.
Love you guys.
That's a wrap. Episode 3.
Bye.
Bye.